5th of July. We're going to be taking Blitz challenges from subscribers and polite new challengers. Trolls are not welcome. Alright, welcome everybody. We could get a warm-up game. I started a couple minutes early, so probably no one is expecting me to be here. 10:57, usually after 11. We got a 2-hour plus Blitz stream. Thanks to those of you who played in my simul on Sunday. We had a donation from Happy Days, 16 bucks. Also, I believe another one for 10 bucks. Very generous. Thank you, peoples. So, Masturbate, where are you? Masturbate, where are you? He's not here. Ludwig AC, long time no see. Let's take this challenge. Alright, you were here briefly for a stream last week. We hadn't played with Ludwig AC in a very long time. It's weird, it says I have a challenge. Okay, the bullet guy. Yes. I am taking subscriber streams ahead of the others. In the case there are no subscriber challenges, of course, we take the stream challenges as we get them. Alright, what do I feel like doing here? I've been playing quite a bit of Caro-Kann. Trying to get better at truly playing the Caro-Kann so I can use it as an alternate defense to the Sicilian. Frankly, this variation is not dangerous, but it is kind of solid for white. I found it a little frustrating to play for a win as black. I actually played a kind of strange move the other day with bishop f5, like a reverse Queen's Gambit exchange, but that looks really sort of nothing. So Ludwig AC, I think our last game went along the same lines. We can actually transpose to a Rogozin reversed. Couldn't play yesterday. I'm playing in Nationals. Mickey Decat. Nationals. If you could be more specific. National, where are you? Yeah, we've been here before. I don't understand why people play this stuff with white. I mean, again, it's okay. It's kind of solid, but you're basically playing black. I don't know why you want to play black. Why you want to play black with white. Oh, in Slovenia. Okay. Because, like, I'm thinking USA. I forgot where you're from, or maybe we didn't know. And, so you have, like, National Youth Championship or something like that. Giving up my bishop isn't really necessary. I mean, I ought to play this like I'm white in a Queen's Gambit. If he plays g4, his king will never be really, really safe. So I don't trust white's setup. Open, youth, senior, women combined. I mean, Slovenia is a small country. You know, I was just reading about the EU presidency. You only have like 2 million people or something. I mean, that's seriously like one of the smallest countries in the EU. Very small country, but a relatively strong, you know, chess culture because you're from the former the former Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia has a huge tradition for chess. So probably not easy. I've been to Slovenia to play chess, but not since years ago. Man, this guy is really aggressive. Whoa. Out of control aggressive. Yeah, I had a student who played Bullet on here, and he got his account. He got his account banned for like his rating fluctuating 100 points or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about how that works. It's often arbitrary. There are people who intentionally lose rating points though, and it is a problem. So this is really pissing me off. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Rook here, I guess. Very aggressive play by white. He's 0-21 against me. We're not going to count his bullet rating. He's fast, and he's like, again, another player that ratings don't make sense. Yeah, I have no connection to lichess. I just play here because it's better than the other sites, but I don't represent them or have any contact with the moderators or programmers of the site. They don't really like me, I think, because I've complained about bugs and stuff in the past, and they get pissed and they're grumpy with me. I wanted to sack on c3. I'm just not loved. Playing chess on Yahoo. Now that's really... Well, that's a site that sucked, huh? Anyway, wow. Rook takes c3 just feels right. I just want to do this. But I mean, how is he so fast? And he's 1400 and bullet. And how am I 21-0 against him? And he's like 1900. If you're 1900, you'd at least got a draw or a win against me. That's weird. There are a few people that have been like that. I'm like, how do I have a perfect score against this player? Bjock, your sub expired. Your best hope is to come on actually, you were here yesterday. Yeah, we didn't have as many gift subs as usual. So I was thinking knight a2 check. I was actually thinking of trying something fancy. That's a problem. So I looked at knight takes c3, but it runs into this amazing defense. Okay, this is a little disturbing. But he does drop a piece over there, okay. LHS, you subscribed the other day. I don't really want to trade queens unless I have to, but I may have to. Weird. Wait, check, takes, and my queen gets trapped? It's really weird stuff going on here. Take. Okay, I mean, there's something special, right? I take, you take, I take, and I'm up material. I'm down a rook. But I'm getting a piece and the exchange back. Dude, I mean, how are you possibly 1489 in bullet? He's used a third the amount of time as me. It just doesn't really make sense. If anything, you're fast. If anything, your bullet rating should be higher than your other ratings. That's really bizarre. I guess he just doesn't play bullet. He seems pretty solid. Twice as fast as me. Very tricky. It's concerning. It just doesn't play like a player who's 0-21 against me. That doesn't seem possible. Look at that, how he's setting up that pawn capture. Sneaky. Where's Astrobate today? That saves his position for now. This is a win, but it's like a process. The two outside pawns. No way this is a 14 under bullet player who has lost 21-0 against me. Too strong, too fast. Doesn't make sense. Alright, barely managed to win by like a thread. That's not boding well for the day. Then I've got another really fast player, new player. We got the ultra tough Zen Chess. Zen Chess and Mickey are subscribers, so I'll take those challenges first. If anyone's a subscriber and wants to play, let me know. I don't, track who's subscribing. I have a list if I download it, but I don't like to do that. C4. It's not going to change the overall outlook for this ending. Outside pawns are very valuable. Now that's weird. Just, wow. What a stubborn defense. But it's like all for naught. Can you kick below the board table? I saw that on YouTube, Zen Chess. And I had just been, like, in the last months complaining that there's no VR chess games. Only one that exists was, like, what was it called? Something really sucky. But they needed to make a good VR chess game. So how does it work? I saw it work for, like, for Quest. We have, what's it called? Rift, Oculus Rift. Is it working with that? Or just with Oculus Quest? That sucks. Alright. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time till they have a decent, you know, just why would it not work with Oculus Rift? I mean, and other major VR headsets. Basically, Oculus Quest is like for Facebook stuff, right? Like, isn't it? Alright. It's like so you can have like meetings with your friends virtually on Facebook. Zen Chess is up next. No, wait. Mickey. Mickey is next. Alright. Yesterday in my simul, I made some really awful, absurd tactical mistakes after my vacation week. I blundered Queen H5 check against Morales, losing a good position. I didn't recapture a piece against Mr. Slow. So it looks like when I don't play for a week, my tactical, you know, I wouldn't think it would be so extreme, but it's like simple tactics that I'm missing. Not you know, thinking about deeper variations, but missing like one move tactics or like recaptures. Just thinking about that. But the effects of not playing last week for me were just VR games. That's weird. Okay, I thought it was like a light Oculus meant basically for Facebook oriented stuff. So maybe it's not so much. That was my perception when it first came out. Yeah, well, it's owned by Facebook, right? Oculus, like Facebook bought Oculus, didn't they? I mean, isn't that the point? So naturally, Mark Zuckerberg okay, old school Grunfeld Fianchetto. I used to play this 30 years ago. Then it got a little dry. It got a little dry for my taste, but now that I'm old, we gotta start playing the Fianchetto old man type of openings. Actually, I've been doing that for a while. This is very old school. E6, yep. That's kind of like the classical defense. Yeah, bishop f5 I've talked about a lot. I lost to Formanek once, and it's a Fischer-inspired move, I guess, though it was never as popular as other lines. Tezek, welcome. Bijak, can you read my highlighted message? Something about playing you? Can you pretend I'm still a sub? I can pretend anything. I'm good at pretending. For the right price. Alright, we'll pretend you're just a sub. You've been a regular contributor here to my stream for a while. H5. But you're going to have to challenge me, Sumahair. I don't see a challenge. Nothing but trouble. You make my life difficult. Seriously, I need to think. Why do I want to play this move? Guarding this? Okay, Queen b6 is weird. Normally black plays knight d7. H5, I understand it, but it's kind of weird too. It's going all right. I'm feeling good. Trying to be more healthy. I'm exercising. Getting ready for my tournament in less than 3 weeks. I started very light preparations for that. Ooh, this knight f5 move was... That is kind of nasty. This might call for extreme measures. What am I going to do? That is annoying. It's like a panic move. I don't think this is even a good move, but it was this problem with a stupid pawn. I can't play b3, I can't play bishop d2 without dropping a pawn. Probably there's some way to play bishop d2 and trap his queen or something. I don't really know what to do. Honestly, rook d8 is kind of odd. I don't have anything. Black played it in a weird defensive kind of way. I expected him to be more aggressive, but he just kind of played like defensive chess. And he's solid. H5, 97, knight f5 in the black side of Fianchetto Grunfeld. He's playing the Fianchetto Grunfeld like he's playing the French or something. I mean, it's kind of rare. You know, usually the Grunfeld players are more active. But I feel like I'm a little overextended. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe e4. E4 has a lot of ramifications, you know. I had sort of stopped thinking about it, but maybe it would have been a good move. Now it's too late. And now I might be in trouble, actually. Strange. It's very strange. I'm in trouble. Doesn't seem like white should be that much worse. It's odd. Seems to be no good solution. What a great plan, you know, to play this. And he's like playing h5 earlier. Very strange looking move. It's like perfect coordination for black. It's all been planned out since the bizarre move h5 earlier. Yeah, e4 was best. I missed it. No doubts. Maybe I'll play it anyway. Nah, it's a blunder. He's basically playing like God. I'm at least losing a pawn. I'm lucky if I draw. I wouldn't be surprised if black made only like 1 or 2 little inaccuracies. Sluggles the snail, welcome. I thought he played the opening badly. This is a bad decision. Play bishop takes d5 is like really bad. That was horrible. Why did he do that? It's like a tactical trick based on winning a piece? Are you even kidding me? You're trying for this cheapo? Bishop takes d5? That's your motivation there? For real? Wow. That's like way too cheapo based. Yeah, he's just like incredibly fast. Wow. He like pre-moved rook c6 with 2 minutes in a nearly winning position. Not a good idea. When you have a good position, you should take your time, not play like faster. You blew this, you were practically winning. But the only mistake he's made is like starting to play too fast and time pressure. He was winning. Now he's on the verge of losing. You can't do that in increment. You have to play the best moves. If I'm down to like 2 seconds, you could try to blitz me. Wow, pretty incredible technique with almost no time by my opponent. I might have been winning, but his speed is unbelievable. And yet he's only 2100 in bullet. That's a low rating. For the level he's playing, I think. You would think he'd be like 24 in bullet. Oh my god. Wait. This is a draw? Damn. Yeah. Wow. His technique is astounding. It's weird. Astounding. Yeah, I would think your bullet rating would be higher with technique like that. I was winning for one moment. I seriously missed Rook G3 there? That's weird. Why would I not see that? Got someone trying to join our team? No. You're not allowed. You've trolled us too much. You've gone too far. Alright, we've got a challenge from Sumahara. I can't accept the challenge, it's not there. But based on your speed, I would think like your bullet rating would be higher. 2100 is... I could probably get to 2100. And I suck at bullet. Alright, Zen Chess is up next. Zen Chess is 2237. Yevgeny's here. This bot keeps challenging me. I'm gonna have to ban them. I don't play bots. Block them or whatever. I decline the challenge and they re-challenge me. I don't know why people do that. That's really irritating. 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. Okay. Good to see some friends here. Zen Chess, Cheesy Noob, Yevgeny, and I don't know what your deal is, Sumahair, but you're like having trouble with the phone. $30 years ago. Yeah. I thought you were a kid. Oh no. Misunderstood. I'm a kid, it's my job. Alright. Right. Yeah. I did this terrible thing against Mr. Slowhand yesterday. I played a knight move where he can capture it with his bishop in the simul. And he captured it and I just didn't recapture. I thought he like just moved his... The absurd thing was, not only did I not recapture a capture, it was like attacking my queen. And instead of capturing it, I like blocked it with a pawn. But it's like, why would I not see that my queen was attacking his bishop? You know, this is weird stuff that's happened since I didn't play for a week. Now Zen chess is a minute up. Asterbait had never faced h4 before, so that was kind of a dirty trick playing that against him. But his reaction with h5 is the most common. And I played okay yesterday, but the time control has to change to 15 minutes. The games are like, I'm offering draws at move 15 because I have 1 minute left. You know, I mean, that's a waste of time. Why am I doing that? Alright. The games have to progress deeper than move 15 before I have 1 minute left. Against like Dodge Papa, I accepted a draw when I'm like +1 on move 15 and I played a perfect game. Against Cheesemate, I accepted a draw with a +4.7 position because I had 1 minute left. Against you, B-Jack, it was a perfect game by both sides. It was a normal draw. That was just an equal position. Interestingly, your move d5 had never been played before in like 4 or 5 games previously. Yeah, it's okay. I misplayed. I should have played. I looked at it today. I should have played knight f6 instead of knight e5. Knight e5 ironically had been played in previous games, but it's not a good move. I'm supposed to play knight f6 and I'm better. So what is Zen chess doing here with the passive knight d7? d5 it has a problem. I have knight f6 at the end, and you're slightly worse. It's like 0.2 advantage to black. I don't know. You know, maybe you shouldn't do that. Welcome everyone to the stream. Appreciate if you subscribe. Yay! Edgar is here. Edward is here. Edgar! Well, so basically Zen chess is playing the Schlechter Slav without c6 or something. This is weird. Your new name is Edgar Elric. He's got a weird setup going on there. I don't really like black's game there. h3. I mean, maybe I should play e4. But I'm not sure about anything here. I guess not. Maybe not. It's not, and say we did. h6. 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 Please play h6. So Edward L. Rick was saying, hopefully I'll play at least one decent game on Over the Board tournament. When is that, Edward L. Rick? I know I've asked you like twice already. The C5. God damn it, Jerry. Hate you for C5. You refuted Queen C2 with C5. Double exclamation point. That's ridiculous. Wow. He just refuted Queen C2. It's an obvious move. Why did I not consider it? My whole position is like ruined now. This is crazy. Pretty crazy move. So Edward L. Rick, did you travel there already? To Ukraine? How about Canadians? You're not restricted. You're like Americans, right? But you're probably a Ukrainian citizen too. What sucks is like Americans can come to Europe, but Europeans aren't allowed to go to the United States. How stupid is that? I'm like really pissed with our government. You can't have that. They can come here, but we can't go there. I mean, I can go as a citizen, but I like can't take my family to the United States. Even though, you know, even if we were vaccinated. It's totally absurd. There's nothing to do with Biden. I mean, it's just like the bureaucracy. I mean, our embassy here, since like forever, has been shut down basically. We don't even have an ambassador anymore. Although they got rid of the idiot, he resigned. The idiotic guy who was like a billionaire appointed by Trump, the former ambassador to Hungary, resigned like before his term was up. Am I lost yet? That's pretty cool. So I'm instantly lost on a one-move tactic. Wow. That's convenient. Wonder what Zen Chess's like tactics puzzle rating is. Are you like 2900 in tactics puzzles? Rook E1 was a move? What? Rook E1 loses the exchange. Give me some credit here. Only a 55? I don't think I could touch that. Just because I'm slow. So the whole point was bishop f5 and he doesn't even play it? What? You're serious? I just spent a minute of my time on this position? And you don't even play bishop f5? What? Why do you think I'm sitting there thinking for like a full minute? Queen d1, rook d8. I mean, that looks kind of awkward. Man, I don't know. That's a weird situation. Man, Zenchess has got like a huge score against me lately. Look at that. Draw, win, draw, draw, win, loss, draw. In his last like 7 games. He never loses anymore. Wait, you like that you can choose thematic puzzles now? Well, I think puzzles should be thematic. Still worse. Of course. Perfect move. Yeah. Really strong. But his USCF rating is like a joke. He's like 2,000 USCF. How does that work? What? You're 2,000 USCF? I don't even understand how that's possible. Were you like purposely sandbagging your rating? This is the only explanation for him to be 2,000 USCF. Like Emil the Farmer. My friend just won the Hungarian Senior Championship. Even though he's 2,079. Ahead of 1GM and a bunch of decent players. But he was like lifetime the second best player in the field of all time. But still, sandbagging is... Man, Zenchess fell apart. It's late there. He never would have fell apart like that normally. I was so lost in this game. It's 4th of July weekend and it's like, what is it, 3 in the morning or something? 0 inaccuracy, 0 mistakes, 2 blunders. I had to be lost here. I was so lost. Look at that. Even in the ending down a pawn, it's minus 3.7. And that's like, that was like a better part of my position. It was probably worse earlier. I can't believe I wasn't lost earlier. After Queen C2. Look at this. Yeah, check it out. So Bishop F5, I thought I had Bishop G5. This just loses a piece. So you're right, I have to play Queen D1. But it's horrible for white. I don't understand how you cannot play that. What am I supposed to play? With Bishop D2? My god. It's like the worst position in history. How did this happen? You're playing C4? The computer wants me to play... Wow. Rook E1, because C4 can be met by this. That's the secret. I was like, what am I going to do here? And I couldn't find a move. The whole point is that this is not a threat because I can take it and play knight d5. God damn it, Jerry. So I could have just calmly played rook d1. Instead, I freaked out and had a lost position. I don't know why you keep trolling me, man. If I didn't accept you once, I'm not going to accept you ever. So, Cheesy Noob, Yevgeny, Sumer was here before. Yeah, Zenchess, it's late there, but you melted down uncharacteristically. Mickey Dicat. You've never played a FIDE tournament. Well, they almost don't exist because FIDE charges lame, overpriced fees for their tournaments. I was just commenting on a friend's Facebook post. He just played someone at the World Open who was like 2,200 US and 1950 FIDE. I said, look, my entire life, my US rating and my FIDE rating were never like more than 75 points different. I have very consistent rating. But ever since FIDE created ratings down to 0, there's been a complete disaster. FIDE is just, it's all about making money. It's not about supporting chess, really. That's the problem. The mission of the organization is messed up. They lost their way, you know. When the focus is more on making money than supporting the game. And that's the problem. Astrobate is here. Like, I've never played in a FIDE Rapid, or... That's not true. Alright, I played in a handful of FIDE Rapids. I've never played in a FIDE Blitz tournament, for example. Hardly any tournaments are FIDE rated in the US. In India, almost none, for example. Every player in India is like 200 points underrated FIDE. In the US, they're like 150 underrated. In Hungary, we're probably less. Maybe less than 100 points underrated. But only rich countries like Gibraltar can afford to have every tournament be FIDE rated. Alright, what am I doing here? So, let's think a little. I don't know. I don't like what I did with this game. Ranting too much about chess federations. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like my formation. I don't know what I'm doing. Perfect play for white. It's this weird line he plays. I should do better. FIDE unrated tournament? What is a FIDE unrated tournament? Or you mean any tournament that's not FIDE rated? Yeah, national ratings, especially like Canadian ratings. Like, who cares about that? Canadian ratings get no respect. Even US ratings don't have a lot of respect. Right. I was expecting 92, so... Alright, I think he made a minor inaccuracy there. Not playing 92. Would have been better to do it the other way. Now my queen is out of play. Genius. But only temporarily. Anyway, that's my big rant now, you know. FIDE and their rating system. You see, when I was starting out, there were no ratings under 2200. That's why like there's all these grandmasters who are 2380. People are like, oh, Keith Arpel sucks. He's 2380. You know. In the old days, no respectable grandmaster would be 2380. But the thing you've got to understand is, in the old days, nobody had a rating under 2200. You know, Vasily Smyslov was 2500 till the day he died. But he wouldn't have been if he had to play like modern day Indian 1900s, you know, who just like wreck you. There was no rating of anybody under 2200. We can't compare modern grandmasters whose ratings like slip down below 2400 because they're playing these 2000 rated players. That didn't exist in the old days. Or, you know, the old grandmasters from 25 years ago also would have been like going down in the 2300s. Same thing with a lot of IMs like myself. In the old days, I never would have gone down to like 2330 like now. You know, I basically would never play anyone under 2200 ever. You're going to be an uncle. You have 5 years left to get a title if you want to coach my kid. Oof. In the words of Zlatko Ilinčić, titles are overrated. Ratings are overrated. The only thing that matters is winning tournaments, Edward Elric. You have to win tournaments to coach my kid. That's kind of a brutal ultimatum. Titles are overrated. But I was just thinking about this rating thing. You know, a lot of people give grief to people like me and other title players who have gone down. But you got to consider the rating system is totally different what it was back in the 90s. Those people didn't have to play 2000 players who were like 2300 strength. Do I coach my kids? No. They're not overly interested in chess, and I'm not the kind of person who like forces people. If they show interest, I will, but I never want to like force them. I have, you know, showed them a little bit, but it's not my thing. I mean, I chose chess, and my parents just supported me on it. No one in my family played chess, you know, but I hate as a chess coach seeing like parents who are pushy, who like forcing their kids. So I've always been, you know, like, okay, if you want to play, let's play. If you're interested, I'll show you. If not, then do what you like to do. What are we doing here? If you reach like 2300 FIDE rating and become IM, it's 24. FIDE Master is 23. Look at that move. I think that Sumaher should give up the Leningrad and play. Give up the classical and play the Leningrad variation. He basically plays the classical like he's playing the Leningrad variation. I think you're playing the wrong system. You're like Boris Spassky style. Obsessed with like putting your bishop on g5 in every variation. You want to just play it on move 4. I just hate people that like push their kids too hard. I've seen that a lot. Of course. Parents who want to like live through their children, it makes me sick. I remember Alexander Ivanov. I asked him, does your son play chess or something? He was like, what? I would never teach my son to play chess. No, that wasn't what he said. He was like, yes, he knows how to play chess, but I told him never ever to try to be chess professional. I want him to have a normal life. it was like he was funny. He was going off on how like he would never wish like being a professional chess player on his son. No, he's computer programmer. It's great. I'm so happy he doesn't play chess. I think that Alex has a love-hate relationship with the game. But he's right about not forcing your kids to do what you did, in my opinion. I mean, everybody should do what they love. F3. Sclam. Sumaher is very kind of positional in a wildly aggressive way, which is harder. I don't know enough about computer programming to qualify to answer that question. Ultra. Wow, that's a weird move. Smooth move. Wait, what? Here? Man, my time is constantly less than the opponent's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're down 2 pawns here. He's a bridge burner. Princess Chess, welcome. But I mean, like the kid here who just made his GM title, he said in an interview he works on chess 12 hours a day. But I'm like, wait a minute. Now, if you work on chess 12 hours a day, how do you study for school? I don't understand. Like, don't you legally have to go to school and study too? I think the Polgar kids were like that. The Polgars, they sort of pretended to do studies, but basically their dad had them doing chess like 24 hours a day. But I mean, you know, in a Western country, like, you can't just get away with that so easily. How is he studying chess 12 hours a day? Like, maybe just in the summer? That wouldn't leave too many hours a day, you know, to work on school stuff. Just saying. Wow. That's pretty sick, man. Sumer is unbelievable. And he's 1500 or something in bullet. He's got the ultimate bullet rating. He's 1667. He's super fast, though. Still, he's defending. Alright, we beat him. Not easy. Nishil, though. Hi, Will. Great fan of your games and you. Thank you. Alright. Tough game. I don't like the way the opening went. Alright, Don Alvil. Wait, we've got subscribers. Cheesy New, Viktorovich, 3-0 challenge, not welcome. The challenges must be 5+3 casual. Cheese New. Astrobate, it's good to have you back. That was an interesting simul game you played yesterday. Sorry about that mean. Yeah, I take the challenges. We have a system, Don Avil. Okay, you're a subscriber. You will be next after. No, you're next. Thanks for being a subscriber. So Mondays and Wednesdays we do take the subscriber challenges first. Fridays I try to keep it open. Chizunu playing the modern reversed with c3 on move 1. How was your 4th of July, Asterbait? You were depressed when I figured who you were on move 2. Guys, I'm streaming for another hour, so we got plenty of time for some Blitz challenges. Probably 5 or 6 games. So once I lost this against a friend of mine, I played the exact same thing. But I think it's okay for black, as long as I'm careful not to overextend myself. I'm basically down a tempo with the white pieces. This is a bad move for white. F4 looks very dubious. Cheesy Noob likes to play like sketchy type stuff. I do not play on the evil chess site of commercialism. It's not that I'm a communist or something, you know. I'm not like Thibault, but chess.com it's too commercial. It's too disgusting. I can't support that site. And I don't really like the owners. Alright, we're going to try to preserve our right to castle. I also hate the site for another reason. It's like ugly and awkward and horribly like designed from a, you know, programming perspective. I just kind of hate chess.com in every conceivable way, if that makes any sense. But you know, it's fine. Like, I've even like done some lessons with students over there if I had to. I just don't like it. Are socialists welcome in the stream? Absolutely. I'm not actually a socialist, but I don't, you know, discriminate based on political affiliation. All right. Yeah, we're better. I mean, he has no white square bishop, and I want to believe in capitalism, but at the same time, you know, it can be overdone. I'm not from Hungary. Absolutely not. I have a Native American accent. I am from the United States. You're not going to find too many Hungarians who would have an accent as authentic as mine. Probably none. To be exact, 0. Although I joked about a friend of mine who talks like John Wayne because he watched a lot of like Western movies. That's how he learned to speak English. Why bishop e3? Because it's a pawn on c1, and on e3 it has like 3 squares it conceivably move to. I kind of feel for that move. I think under the circumstances it's reasonable. It's the worst bishop in history. Well, I mean, you know, chess is a game about navigating all these different variables. Be afraid. You know, Fisher said you had to give squares to get squares. I mean, it's all about like debating like which principle is more important in which situation. Yeah, he blocks his pawn, but is he going to play with a pawn on c1? You know, it's pretty hard to do that as well. So I don't know. I think white has serious positional problems that there's no immediate solution for. Long-term problems because of his earlier mistake of playing bishop takes e4. Alright, now he's trying to play h5, I guess. That is kind of an annoying move. He's a tough player with a very strange style. h4 is a creative solution. Looks like a good idea. He's only slightly worse. Yeah, I mean, if I play h5, he plays knight h3, knight g5. So I wanted to try to be a little more flexible, but maybe it was best. Again, very hard to judge. There's a lot of different options. h5 doesn't leave me very flexible. Next stream tomorrow, I have to remember to set up Blitz tournament. Blitz tournament tomorrow night at 6:30 CEST. We have Swiss style Blitz tournaments. No, he has some counterplay. But I'm not sure, you know, how bad it is. That e2 pawn is a menacing weakness. King f2. King f2 would solve a lot of problems. If he could transfer his king to f2, he'd probably be much better off. Problem is he has no good way of protecting e2, and his knight is tied down. Now I was thinking bishop e7. Or bishop g7. Maybe I have even better. c5. An unbelievable move. It's an unbelievable move. It's my Magnus Carlsen game. When I lost against Magnus, I had like this vortex. With white though. Similar vortex. This move is like unexpected. But it's killing his pieces. So rook g7. What do you do on rook g7? You're like frozen. Frozen foods aisle. What aisle is the frozen foods aisle on? Can you direct me, please? I guess knight takes g7 is also interesting. He was excited to get his rooks on a7, but he was immediately rejected. gotta do something to get him out of there. Man, access to the d4 square has been granted. This minor piecing game may be a draw. So I don't really want to trade rooks, like rook h8. I think that's not enough. We got to try to reorganize and win anew. Black is better. But is it enough? Knight d4, b5. This move is probably not great. Having trouble making progress. He doesn't like knights, remember. He's a knight hater. I mean bishops, sorry. Clearly that doesn't make sense. He hates, you heard it, he hates bishops. Hey, it's Miro, welcome. Hey, it's Miro, you're gonna play a chess tournament or not? Mr. Slowhand is here. I told on the stream how I did that against you. Poor Mr. Slowhand. I feel like we had a wasted simul game. I put a knight in capture, he took it, I didn't recapture. And then I didn't realize I was out in piece for like 10 moves. Sorry, man. I also blundered against Miralles, like, in a good position with queen h5 check. I guess because I didn't play for a week. I don't know what's up with me. I'm going to try to get to these subscriber challenges. That's awesome, Mira. So what kind of tournament is it? I mean, is this a confirmed event? Or just like you're thinking about it? Share with us your plans for chess participation. You play the Catalan against the Catalan guy. Use your own poison against you. Three weeks from now, that's when I'm going to play. Maybe we already talked about that, but I'm starting on the 20th of July. I had the same game with Cheesemate yesterday. Now that he did not play. Knight c6 may be a professional move. You might be professional if you play knight c6. The people bots. Wait, what's a people bot? Like imaginary players you can like make up or something? I'm just playing a long-term pawn sack. For activity. The problem is, like, simulated human play has never been perfected. It would take a lot of money and effort. You know, you'd need like high-level AI programming, and it wouldn't be worth it. You know, the effort that would be needed to go into truly creating chess programs that play like different people. Handicapped chess programs suck. Like, there's nothing out there that's even realistic, even now in the 21st century. That's why I criticize our moderator. Mr. Coffee plays a lot of games with like engines, but you know, if you play Stockfish level whatever, I mean, it just plays like the best moves, and then it makes some random blunder. That's nothing like playing a human, really. Very different. I just don't think the money is there, you know, to create a really great thing like that. Like the Magnus Carlsen Play Magnus app or whatever. It's not realistic. I don't think there's enough financial incentive for something like that to be done right. At least not so far. Still can be entertaining, I guess. Do you know what happened in Afghanistan today? I do not. I did not read the news in the last 2 hours. I read the news this morning, didn't notice anything in Afghanistan. I usually read BBC World News every day. Do I want to take this bishop on d6? Do you want to fix his structure? You know, maybe not. Although he's going to get an e5. Let's not. You know what? I don't want to fix your structure. I was just kidding. Let's have a do-over. I don't know if this is right or not. Like I was talking about how like they could create a really good VR chess program as well. But again, the technology to create a good VR program costs a lot of money to develop it, and I don't think chess is a big money making, you know, big enough money making thing that although Zen Chess was talking about a new VR program that's out called Chess Club, I think this will be interrelated in the future. One day we'll be able to play not only like realistic bots with AI capability, but also, you know, do it with VR technology. But again, the financial aspect has to be there. And until now, like no good VR programs were created. But I think it will happen, you know, in the next like 10 years for sure. It would be cool to stream VR chess. I wanted to do it, but the existing VR program, I forget what it was called, Chess Ultra or something, it sucks. It just sucks. So, here we are. Alright guys, we got challenges. I've lost some people. What's up with the challenges? What happened to Hey It's Miro? And someone else is missing. Dhruv Gold just got back. Mr. Sohan. Where's Hey It's Miro? You guys are down there. So I do take the subscribers first. I think Leech Us. Scott tournament's back, but still no challenges. What? Leech Us still blocking my account, so I can't challenge. Would you like to confess your crimes, perhaps? Or you just like insult people and they ban you for bad language or something? Harassment. Chess confessional. Why were you banned? Get it out of your guilt. Get out your guilt. Be free of it. Talking a little too much trash. I'm trying to just do anger management, you know. My new thing is just not getting angry. Anger is bad for you. I used to be angry a lot, especially when I was playing online poker. It's just not good for anything, really. Anger really is just negative emotion. Has very little positive benefit. So we try to be more positive. All right, Yevgeny Viktorovich. I'm playing with instinct. E5? You have E5? No. How long have I been playing chess for? Since 1985. 84, probably. Look at that move. 84. Is this even a good move that does anything? Not clear. Not sure he should have played it like that, but just saying. I'm not sure my original move was even good. Okay, we got our pawn back. That was hard. Bonus pawn. Get your free bonus pawn. Pawns pawns are us. I miss Toys R Us. What about rook here? Rook. Alright, he came unglued. We got him with his own weapon, the Catalan. Mr. Slowhand. Zen Mode Chess. Interesting name. I don't think we're going to have time for that today. These last challenges are out. I've got about approximately 40 minutes to stream, which means these games, well, that 3-2 is the wrong time control. Mickey, if you want to play, you have to challenge me to 5+3. So I'm going to take these 3 subscriber challengers. I think Dhruv Goal is a subscriber. Maybe not, but we've got time for the other subscribers for sure. Now Vincent Vegas back, but he's not a subscriber. When I play online chess, everyone is always doing the opening and stuff that is like the most recently posted on YouTube. Yeah, that's why I hate the London system. Yeah. But most of it's garbage. There are these guys like Eric Rosen, Gotham Chess. They're mostly interested in like having the maximum number of video hits. So they don't care as much about whether what they're teaching is actually good, but that they do something that's like popular and trendy. I don't, like that either. They just want a lot of views, so they'll recommend stuff like the Stafford Gambit, which just like loses by force, that has some traps in it. I mean, everything that I do is based on trying to approach the game in a correct way. I would never, at least it's not true. I've recommended some offbeat stuff before, but I mostly try to stick to fundamental stuff. 94 average cent upon loss. Knight takes e4, rook takes e4, d5. This is a trick I tried to get Asterbait to play along with this. I don't know if it's recommended on YouTube, but for some reason this setup, this so-called boulder attack, is insanely popular. I don't know if there's some crazy guy out there with a million views on YouTube who's like telling people to play that, but basically it's not a good setup against the Sicilian. You're playing like you're black at best, and I wouldn't recommend it. Bishop takes e6. Okay, it's a trade, but it's a good trade for me. I've got a bishop, you've got a knight, and then you have a lot of white square weaknesses. So we're good to go. I'm more than equalized in the long term because this bishop is a raging bull. But Asterbait has had some games where he's had his possibility and he hasn't done it. B3 is interesting. Probably not bad. You played the boulder when I was a kid. Then my dad said it was bad. Good for your dad. Dads are cool. Yeah, the thing is, you start playing bishop c4 in the double king pawn games, and you, as a beginner, you think, well, I can do it against anything. But I'm just curious, is there someone out there who... Why is the boulder so wildly popular? Is there someone out there really making videos, like encouraging people to do that? Because it seems like when I played over-the-board chess, I've literally had one player who played the boulder in a 30-year chess career. Whereas if you play online, it's like 3 out of 10 people who play against the Sicilian play it. So, I mean, these are total amateurs online for the most part. And I'm talking about amateur online chess versus tournament chess against experienced players who have studied the game. Having said that, there are some quote-unquote boulder lines that aren't bad. If black plays d6, bishop c4 becomes a better move. That's probably the most important concept. So I've got an interesting move here, e5. I've got a more interesting move, actually, pawn takes pawn. What we have here is a failure to calculate. You're a recovering boulder addict. I don't even know who Boulder was. I didn't even know it was called that until I started playing on lichess and they developed their opening explorer. e4, c5, knight to f3, d6, bishop c4 is the one place where that setup seems relatively reasonable. And it's been played by, notably, Mickey Adams quite a bit back in the day, and players who I've played with, for example, Leonid Yudasin, who used to be a candidate, who was one time a candidate for the World Championship. Leonid, I would see him waste people. Pretty strong, like, national masters would just go down in flames because they had no idea how to play against it. Basically, Leonid would just play like he was playing the Joko piano against the Sicilian, and it was all good. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case with, like, Yudasin, probably. But Mickey Adams was a big you know, you got to realize, like, Mickey Adams was a big advocate of the bishop's opening. So here we have the Bodler. We have one position in 11 moves. He lost his Bodler bishop, and now he's lost a pawn. All right. Down with the Bodler. If I make any YouTube videos, maybe I'll have to make, like, destroying the Bodler, lashing out at the London. Basically, the Bodler is the London on the other side of the board. So it appeals to people who like the simplicity of the London system. Of course, the advantage of any opening like that is that you're taking the theoretical players kind of out of there. You're trying to take the opening struggle out of the game a little bit. What do you suggest? I mean, Teze, like, literally, the London is a viable opening. It's basically approximately equal. There are some poisonous lines if white is really well prepared and black isn't. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like anything is okay. I like to play moves based on practical considerations more. So I'm doing stuff that the London players don't see as much. I think it really depends on what your normal defense to d4 is. You know, that's kind of the most important consideration. It's not like a one size fits all recommendation as to what you should play against London. What you should play against any of the closed queen pawn games depends on what you normally play. I normally play the Queen's Indian. I normally play the Nimzo. I normally play the King's Indian. So I have a wide range of setups that I can choose from. Mostly not including d5. I don't really like playing d5 against the London because I don't normally play d5 in general. So I can play b6 on move 2. That seems to mystify them. Moves that white doesn't encounter as much. b6, d6. I like d6 because it kills the bishop's diagonal. It gives you e5 in a lot of positions. That's my friend Joe's recommendation. But I mean, even if you play the main lines with d5, the London should only be like equal for white. Basically, it's a club opening that mysteriously became popular, well, mainly because of Magnus adopting it quite a bit. It suits his style because he can beat anyone from an equal position. He doesn't necessarily need to get an advantage out of the opening to beat strong players. But that doesn't mean the London is good. See, people don't understand. Magnus isn't winning because he's playing the London. Magnus is winning because he's Magnus. He would win with any opening. And they misunderstand and think, whoa, Magnus played the London system. It must be the best opening in the world. You know, in reality, it's just very average. And I think it's a waste of the white pieces, to be frank. You should try for more when you're white. It's an Asser rook. The new Asser rook. We saw one of those yesterday. Right, London out of laziness. Well, that's the argument, like, hey, kids, this is my YouTube channel. I'm here to teach you how to play chess the easy way, you know. Let's learn the London system. You don't have to think. But why play chess if you don't want to think? You know, that's Chess is supposed to be a game about thinking, using your brain. Basically, playing chess and not thinking are mutually exclusive. Alright. Hey, it's Miro. We missed somebody. It looks like Mr. Slow is missing. Mr. Slow, are you out there? You would be the next challenge. I do take the subscribers first. Hey, it's Miro, Mr. Slow. Then we go in order. There, he's back. Alright, well, we'll not start without Mr. Slow next game. I'll try to make my automatic recaptures today, Mr. Slow, if possible. Now, I had an interesting antique Grunfeld with Hey, it's Miro yesterday. Now, how did that end up? Not today. He's varying on me. Dropping the bishop in front of the rook and hitting him with a check. Thank you. This is one of my favorite variations. The Flora Meekness English. Favorite of Korchnoi. Floor, obviously. Salo Floor, the great Czech grandmaster. Perhaps not as famous as some other world-class players in history, but he was one of the best. Meekness is very hard on theory. Yeah, this is... There's a lot of book. Last time against Mendonca in the GM tournament I played last October, I for the first time played CD5 just as a surprise. But I don't like playing that line in principle because we're opening black's bishop up on this diagonal. It became kind of popular though. I wanted to surprise him. I got a good position too, but I thought in circles and ended up losing a drawn ending. Round 1 of my last tournament in October. I had a very, very good game out of this opening, and I totally got my prep. But I wasted 30 minutes on one move, and then everything spiraled out of control. I like this opening a lot. Bishop d3. I've seen experimental lines with that. Victor the Terrible. So I had a game with a Hungarian player years ago. I thought it was this line. b6 is relatively modern. Typically black played well, I guess my move order is a little weird. Normally white plays d4 right away. Well, they're both played. With b6, now I'm trying to remember how I'm supposed to play this. Was it bishop d3? Let's see, d4. Actually, I'm not sure. I think last time against the player I can't remember who it was, about 6 years ago, I had a game with bishop d3, bishop b7, castles, bishop takes f3, and I traded queens. But I'm not sure you're supposed to trade queens. We have time for Mr. Slow game and maybe one more. Mr. Slow move. Speaking of slow, h6 is a little slow. He's trying to discourage me from playing bishop g5, but there are traps. Bishop d3, bishop f3. So what happens bishop e7, bishop g5, bishop takes f3. You don't really have to play that h6 move. Slothra. Sloth. Sloth is a deadly sin, right? I'm not a Catholic, but they're big on deadly sins. Is Heitzmiro guilty of sloth? That's Jonathan Rowson's big thing, right? The 7 deadly chess sins. I never actually read the book. It has very good reviews. I like John. We hung out a little bit years ago. He's a very thoughtful person and into more than just chess. But he wrote the 7 deadly chess sins. I assume that sloth is one of the deadly sins. And obviously h6 is a matter of costing black time. Question is how important that is here. It wasn't necessary yet to play that. Slothra. Ooh, I just moved the board. Sorry about that. Has anyone read that chess book? He also wrote Chess for Zebras. Sort of philosophical chess training books with funny titles. Bishop b7. Now if I play knight e5 and sack a pawn draw for the Slothra. Knight e5 looks kind of fun, actually. Give up a pawn and then try to like torture black. Dude, this looks really wild. Maybe it's not good enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's a couple of books he wrote that are very highly regarded. Not new. Inspirational reading. Philosophical approach to chess, maybe. But I met Jonathan when he was in Harvard. He came to the United States for a while to study at Harvard. And it's nice and refreshing to meet someone who is a grandmaster, for example, and can talk about something other than chess. So now we have a problem. You're annoying me. I have queen a4 check. Heitzmiro is basically like mini Karpov. He's gonna fully Karpov this position. Karpovize. Karpovization. I'm feeling that I went too far. But let's try the check. I'm willing to take a risk. Now where does he go? This is gambling, kind of. I'm gambling with a little bit falsified moves. LHS just gifted 2 subs community, Rogue Red Naval and Willard DeGray, who are both new. Very generous. LHS. He seems like a nice guy for someone who's chat banned. Just saying. I saw an old video with Karpov flagging a 3-year-old kid. 3-year-olds deserve it. Gotta give Karpov credit. Those punks. But now, I feel like I'm a happy camper. My real fear was a king move. And that's why I brought up Karpov. I mean, maybe I have compensation, but... Thought I missed something. This is looking juicy. I'm sounding like another chess streamer. Now my queen is definitely out of position. Wow, that is annoying. You took away my plan, my Aster mate, with bishop e1. He blocked my Aster mate. Dirty dog. The whole point was to play bishop e1, and it's the only move that stops it. But it looks like black's about to get brutalized. The student body attack. Aster mate. No, it's just a reference to a friend here. One of our regulars. It's an inside joke. Don't worry about it. Damn. I managed to screw this up. Yeah, I blundered it. I'm actually gonna lose. Wow. He's a really fast blitz player. I was overconfident and black defended. Don't call it a comeback, right? Damn it. That's an unbelievable move. What? You see that move he played? C4, he saw he had a pass pawn and moved it? It's unbelievable. Wow. Strong blitz play. such a robbery. I feel ill. I'm lucky I didn't lose. No. No draw. Robbed. He was like -8 or something when I lost my whole position. Jeez. That hurts. Look at that. Look at that graph. It was like inversion. He's only -4.7. I'm like, oh my god, I have 13 seconds. White has everything here and there's no way to win. I just like didn't know what to do. I don't see a direct way to win. White has a massive advantage and I just threw it all away. Okay, Mr. Slowhand, last game for today. Sorry guys. If you have a question, feel free to ask. WJ Loop has seen that graph before. It was the inversion parabola. It went from +4.7 to like -4.7 in a matter of 10 seconds and like 3 moves. You like that graph? 90% of your losses? Bitcoin, yeah, I'm holding my breath. I didn't like panic sell my Bitcoin yet. But I have to admit I was tempted. It's kind of like England at the half against Ukraine. Against Ukraine. I felt a little bit nervous about it. Like, what if Ukraine scores a goal? Like, it could happen. I wonder how many people would like big bets on that match, like bail at the halfway point. Like say you bet 10 grand on it and you're like, well, I don't know, 1 goal isn't that much. Maybe I'm gonna like cash out now. Or just let it ride. Then they like instantly score 3 goals. You can breathe. Breathe easy. Mr. So is good. Good at the King's Indian. Sir, is my rate on website will be the same on the real matches? Rating. No. No, I mean generally like online ratings at the lower levels are a little inflated. Maybe all levels. The online ratings can't possibly accurately, you know, do that. You gotta approximate. Usually the online ratings are a little like 200 points higher than what you would see. When the ratings get higher, like mine, not as much. My online ratings are maybe 100 points higher, but I think amongst the lower rated players, you're seeing much more like variation. There are people on the site, and I don't talk about bullet chess because it's just ridiculous. But let's say Blitz, Rapid, Classical. You know, if you're 1800 Rapid chess on lichess, your FIDE rating, you know, might be around 1550 or something like that, maybe 250 points. I don't know. You're 1900 if I played in real life. No. If you're 1900 on lichess, you're probably like 1700. And this is a broad, this is a very big approximation. The ratings online are inflated more than over the board ratings. Alright guys, I gotta go. I can't take more challenges. Thank you for challenging. I gotta go. After this game, I have about 10 minutes, but I won't have time for another one. So there's an interesting possibility here of knight b5. Then there's an Asser rook with rook b7. Yeah, it looks fraudulent. I don't trust it. Mr. Slow has switched up systems. He played differently before against me. Wonder if I could sack an exchange here. Like b4 takes, rook takes, b5, rook takes b5. That looks kind of cool. Unnecessary, but fun. I guess normally I would play AB, AB, B4. How am I going to break through? Does this make sense? There's a lot of inflation in like USCF ratings, United States ratings. And I think the FIDE ratings are a bit deflated at a lot of levels. This is definitely one of his favorite weapons, the H5. Wonder if I should just play A5 and like smush him spatially. Yeah, I mean the problem is this pawn is very weak here. I'm pretty skeptical. I know that he has tactical tricks and stuff. Once again, I'm willing to sack the exchange sometimes, especially for that dark square bishop. So I wonder. He's looking for tactics based on d5 too. But knight takes b5 looks kind of weak. I'm not really happy about that. Rook fc1. h4. I think I blundered. Maybe not. I'm going to protect this. Because sometimes knight h1, knight f2 is a maneuver, but I think this is too big a problem here. He's really cagey. And I've lost to him before in this line. He's also, speaking of underrated, I think Mr. Slowhand plays to the level of his opposition. Yesterday I lost in the simul game, but it was silly. Blunder. Alright guys, last game for today. We're going to set up a Blitz tournament for tomorrow night, 6:30 CEST. WJ Loof, thanks for joining us, as always. The ELO. Electric Light Orchestra. That's a little beyond my era. I think my high school 9th grade science teacher, was it 8th grade? My 8th grade science teacher was into them. He'd be a few years older than myself, but we get the reference. 97, was expecting this earlier. As I mentioned, I can sack the exchange, but it's probably not necessary. Well, we want to do it under optimal conditions. Bishop takes c4. Take. I mean, I could play knight d1. He might hit me with f5. f5, knight f2. Man, this is getting weirder. Now I have rook takes c4 now. Wow, he's got evil tactics. f4. h3. Bishop takes c4. Hard to believe he's 1800. That's just not possible. It's not possible you're 1800. I'm sorry. How do you manage to get your rating to 1800, Mr. Slow? How did you achieve that? You're 1830? What? You'd have to like start losing games on purpose to have that rating, I think. That's the only explanation. He's like formerly FIDE 2100. Basically playing great. To the end game, he says. I need to get my king in the center, first of all. Rook d7. Rook c7. Passive move. Yeah, that's like an exclamation point. Exclamation point move. $1800. He's not crushing me in Blitz. So let's check this out. Here's the 1800. Check out his performance in this game. I just want to see. $23 cent upon loss, 22 cent upon loss, and you're rated 1800. That's like a 2400 player strength game by black. How could you be 1800? You just like give away all your points to everyone on purpose? It's humiliating to get crushed like that. You played like an IM. White was slightly better here, but I mean, I think this is a normal opening. This is a normal opening like position. It's not unusual for the line to be like +1 point something in a King's Indian. He basically didn't make any mistakes. It's just a master game by black. I didn't play particularly well, but he's also much faster than me. Alright, interesting 1800. I gotta go, guys. I will be back. Yeah, sometimes you do well, that's for sure. I will be back Tuesday with 1800 here is like, you're like 1600 FIDE. You realize that, right, Mr. Slow? Do you know what the average player your rating plays like? They just like drop all their pieces and resign. I don't understand, like how could you get your rating down that low? Appreciate it if you would raise it up a little bit so I'm not like looking like an idiot as much. Alright. We'll be back on Tuesday with a Blitz tournament. 6:30 CEST. We'll see y'all then. Bye-bye.